Hey my beautiful Virgo, what's happening, what's cracking lacking, and what's popping, baby? It's your boy for CancerMoonsTarot coming at you guys with your mid-April, 15th through the 30th Love Tarot reading. I hope you guys are well. If so, let me know down in the comments down below. Keep in mind this reading is general. If it resonates, that's awesome. If not, it's not your message. Feel free to check out any other amazing tarot readers that we got here on YouTube, okay? These messages may resonate backwards or vice versa, so take them how they resonate if they apply to your particular situation. If you guys would like, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which is all linked down below. And you guys can also check out my sister and her boyfriend's YouTube channel. That is the first link in the description if you guys want to take a look into my family's life. Nonetheless, Virgo, I hope you guys have been staying safe, taking as much precaution as you can with the current state of the world, and of course, keeping your vibes motherfucking high. It is extremely important and crucial during this time to protect your energy as much as possible from everything that's going on in the world, and make sure you're taking care of yourself. Nonetheless, I hope you guys are well. I send my love out to you. Thank you guys for being so patient with me. I apologize that this reading's been incredibly late. Thank you guys for still coming through and supporting. I really appreciate that. You know, sometimes things don't always work out in the way that I want them to, but hey, man, we're still here. We're still thriving, and I appreciate you guys still showing up. Much love. Thank you all so much, okay? Let's get into it, man. Messages for Virgo here, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs throughout mid-April 15th through the 30th. What messages do we got coming through for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs throughout April 15th through the 30th. All right, Virgo gang. I feel like you guys definitely want to have a chit-chat over here. Messages for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs throughout April 15th through the 30th. All right, Virgo, let's get in one more shuffle and see what messages we got coming through. Hopefully we got some awesome stuff. Let's take a look. Virgo, the overall energy for you here, woo, is the Three of Swords. Woo! We're going to make that frown turn upside down. Let's take a look. You could be connecting possibly with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Your current energy, though, is the Four of Pentacles. The person you're dealing with is the Chariot. And the outcome that's present here is the Ace of Pentacles. Virgo, we got a different reading than normal. This is going to be you dealing with yourself. And I know that sounds different, but this is you dealing with your shadow. This is you dealing with the side of yourself that is optimistic versus pessimistic. The side of yourself that is in the shadows and dealing with fucking trauma versus the side of you that is like, you know, kind of above that. And I feel like you're in this space right now, Virgo, where you have been you have been hurt before, you have been heartbroken before, you have been in a position where it's been tough. But, you know, there's always two options here. You can shut down and be scared to be open and vulnerable and consistently be scared to feel pain ever again. Or you can move forward and own that pain that you've been through and really do your best to release that and move forward with life, as things will happen, positive or negative. There's always wonderful things in life and there's always negative things in life, and we're going to experience the duality of that. And as for the outcome that's present here, Ace of Pentacles, I feel like the universe is definitely triggering your shadow self to maybe gain or give you some sort of perspective in your life to help assist you in forward movement. Because here's the thing, you know, the shadow self of you wants to be closed off. The shadow side of you is like tempting you to never be open, trust no one, don't give in to anybody, you know, be this little burrito in your room for the rest of your life so you can never get hurt again. And the universe is trying to show you, my love, you're going to get hurt plenty of times in your life. You know, I think it's natural for all of us to hurt in life. You know, there's that natural death and rebirth process. There's that natural lesson and lessons on lessons that we continuously learn. So pain is something that actually helps you with growth. And, you know, processing these feelings and emotions are crucial for our growth moving forward in life. So the universe is trying to show you that. And they don't want you to shut down. Whether you call the universe God, whether you call it your guides that are navigating you, or whatever you resonate with, you know, God here wants you to recognize that this is all a part of the process to go through these types of pain and to, you know, come out a fucking warrior. So now it's time to take a look at your shadow self and to take a look at your higher self and see what's going on here. So it's almost like we're doing the normal reads, except it's all about you. So let's take a look into your shadow first, and we'll see what's going on there throughout the second half of April, okay? Messages for Virgo here, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs throughout April 15th through the 30th. What is going on the shadow side of things? What is going on the shadow side of things for Virgo, please? We did have a card that fell out, and that card was the Two of Cups, okay? I dropped it again. And I think they're trying to tell me they mean the Two of Cups in reverse. Yeah. So I read all my cards upright. I never really put them in reversals. I only do that for daily readings. And this card fell out of my hands twice and it landed in reverse. So I think it wants to come out reverse. That's just my intuition. Two of Cups reverse talks about a disconnect from yourself. So your shadow self is in a disconnect from your higher self. And here's the thing. Your shadow self and your higher self both have benefits. There is always a benefit to being in your shadow self, but that benefit only comes when you're connected to both. Because when you're in your shadow self, but you're not connected with who you really are, you're going to be upset, you're going to be depressed, you're not going to see the light that is there, because there is light in your shadow self, right? Because there are these things that, a part of you wants you to feel and understand and process in order to be released and in order to move forward. And when you're disconnected to who you really are, you may feel that the shadow is all of you, that your life is a living hell, and that you are depressed till the end of time, and that nothing is great, and you live a life forever in pessimism. So your shadow here definitely feels disconnected from who you are. You got here the Queen of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Justice, the Ten of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the Nine of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. Yeah, lots of shit that's going on. So taking a look at your shadow self, here are some of the behaviors that some of you Virgos may have experienced lately. Queen of Swords, feeling very blunt, feeling very like you don't really care what you say to people. It's almost like in your shadow self, when you're resonating with your shadow self, you don't care about what you say to people and if you hurt them. It's you not. How do I explain that? It's you not caring if you hurt another person with your words. It's being brutally cold. And when you notice you're being brutally cold, you're definitely resonating with your shadow side, and you are not tapped in to really restrict yourself or aware enough or are aware enough of what you're doing to other people. So you got to be mindful here. Your shadow self is kind of urging you to, speak your truth, but don't hurt with the words that you speak. And we got over here the Page of Swords, the Justice card, which these cards can represent too an aspect of your shadow self, where you may take a look at other people, and sometimes you may feel that things are not just and right. So you may be in a position where sometimes you try to take justice into your own hands versus letting the universe do its thing. This could definitely be in regards to Virgos when they're angry. When a Virgo is angry, they will pop off on another person, and sometimes they won't recognize how hurtful that they can really be. That is an aspect of your shadow self. Another aspect of your shadow self could be that you tend to walk away or run away when any sort of connection comes up that requires your trust. When you are required to trust somebody, there could be a lot of you Virgos that deal with a lot of trust issues, and those trust issues may be arising where you're scared to trust another person because you have been deceived and hurt so many times to the point where you run away from any source of trust, and the only person you trust is yourself. Another thing that could come up here in your shadow self is self-confidence issues, which some of you may have been having, where you could be dealing with a lot of insecurities, dealing with being confident and finding it hard to pull confidence up, or trying to be confident. You can find that difficult. You could be in a space where you're unhappy with your looks, with your physical image, with your emotional image, and ultimately too, you may be dwelling on a lot of endings here with the Ten of Swords. The shadow self is usually someone who dwells on things that have ended that you wished have never came to an ending. So, looking at your shadow, it's showing the Four of Pentacles, honestly. It's showing that you are shut down and scared to be open to not only new connections and new people, but to be open to trusting people. Sometimes you are scared to love yourself because you may feel such a negative and horrible image of yourself. Other things can talk about the low vibration that you can be in, right? Because the Justice and the Page of Swords, everybody has the shadow side of themselves where they can be real low vibrational and real nasty. And, that side of yourself is when you try to take justice into your own hands, even though it may not necessarily be your business to do so, as God will handle everything. And, this ultimate disconnect between what is good for you versus what is bad for you sometimes may be hard to resonate with. So I feel like the universe is kind of showing you, hey, here's all this crap that you do, Virgo, that's unhealthy for yourself, that is toxic for yourself. And here's the thing. The universe wants you to acknowledge your shadow side, but not live in it. That's the difference. The universe wants you to acknowledge it, and they want you to heal it, and they want you to take a look at what doesn't fit, and what needs to be fixed, and what needs to be worked on, and what needs to be healed. They want you to acknowledge that shadow side of yourself, but not live in it. They want you to live in your higher self. The self that wants you to do good. The self that wants you to be your best self, okay? And that is what your higher self could be reckoned as, you know? Your higher self is doing what's best for you at all given times and being the best version of yourself as you possibly can be. So I think the universe here is trying to give you an opportunity, you know? And what I mean by that is that the universe is going to throw some shit your way. And it's going to throw some shit your way in the sense that it can trigger any of these feelings I just explained. Some of you Virgos may have feelings being triggered that come up as you being insecure. You also may be getting triggered during this time and having trust issues. Some of you Virgos may be getting triggered during this time to be in a low vibrational place and be rude to others. Some of you here may be triggered and you may be stone cold right now to certain types of people. And I have to keep it a buck with you. If any of you guys are feeling this trigger and are feeling this energy and are in these negative shadow type vibes, the universe is trying to show you, yeah, you have a shadow self, but you got to realize that there is more. There is more than just your shadow. There is light. And at the end of the day, when you're in darkness, you're able to see the light. There's always a light at that end of that long, dark tunnel. So the universe wants you to see that there is light. So this really is going to resonate to the Virgos who have been emotionally shut down, for the Virgos who have been scared to be vulnerable and scared to resonate with their higher selves. This is going to be for the Virgos that have been stuck in their shadow self. And the universe is trying to tell you, it's okay. Everyone has a shadow. But there's also light. There's also a way out. You can recognize it for what it is. You can acknowledge your shadow side. But your shadow side is not who you are. And that is the side that is meant to be healed. Okay? So we're getting very deep here, man. And I'm sorry if this reading triggers any Virgos, but we're getting definitely deep here. So let's take a look, all right? Now, in regards to what Virgo's higher self is urging to communicate to Virgo, let's see. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs throughout mid-April 15th to the 30th. What is your higher self urging you to see? Boom, the Hangman card, which represents enlightenment. And I think that your higher self is trying to tell you, Virgo, that you are not stuck. You are never going to be stuck to negative vibrations. You are never going to be stuck in your shadow self. And you want to know why? You have free will. You have free will. Excuse me. Each and every single day we have a choice, right? We have the choice to resonate with a pessimistic point of view or an optimistic point of view. We have the choice to be positive or to be negative. We have the choice to feel positive or negative, really. It's always going to come down to choice. And it is a choice to live in your shadow self, just as much as it's a choice to live in your high vibrational self. So the universe here, your shadow self here, or not your shadow self, your higher self here wants you to know you're not stuck in the shadow. You're not stuck in the darkness. You have a choice. Okay? There we go. Speaking of choices, Two of Wands. You can leave behind what you're feeling now and create a whole new world. Or you can stay right where you are. It is your choice. You got here Seven of Wands. You have the power to rise up and above what you're feeling, what you're resonating with. You have the power to rise above your shadow and join a more high vibrational part of yourself and join your higher self. You have the power to change what you're experiencing and what it is that you're going through. Absolutely. You can get on the same page with what you want in life. You can really block out what doesn't resonate, because every single day we have the choice to resonate with what we desire to resonate to. So for those Virgos right now that are scared to live in their higher self, or that are scared to be their unapologetic, authentic self, do not be scared to open up and be who you are and to own who you are. There is beauty inside of you. There is light inside of you. And your shadow will always be a part of you. But it doesn't mean it's all of you. Your insecurities are not real because you are beautiful. You are beautiful. Your trust issues here our subconscious programmings from the fear of being hurt by other people. Not everybody will hurt you. The Justice, the Page of Swords. Feeling the need to find justice in situations that may not concern you could all come from you feeling like you were never justified in your younger days. You ever notice how people always want justice for something? They may always want justice for something because they never felt justified when they were younger. They felt like justice was never served for them. So that's the trauma there. And with the Queen of Swords being stone cold, you are not stone cold. You can choose to be stone cold, but by nature, Virgo, you are not stone cold. You are not mean with the words that you give out in this world. You are not a terrible person, because anybody who is acting terrible could be wonderful. So I think the point of this reading, Virgo, is to try to show duality and how we have the light and the dark of ourselves, the high and the lows of ourselves, the higher self and the shadow self. These are all the same terms, right? Shadow self could resonate to the negative self, and higher self could resonate to the positive self. These are the same things. And I think that a lot of you guys have been sitting in your shadow for quite some time. And because you've been sitting in your shadow for quite some time, you may have adapted to a belief that your shadow self is all you are. But that's not true. You are so much more than that. You are so much more high vibrational than that. You are so much more loving than that. You are so much more beautiful than just your shadow. And you always have the ability to change. Wheel of Fortune. You always have the ability to change. Because each and every single day, it is your choice to choose what you resonate with. Light or dark, positive or negative, optimist or pessimist. It is your choice each and every single day. So the universe wants you to open up to that side of yourself. The universe wants you to see your own light. The universe wants you to see your own beauty. The universe wants you to move forward because they're giving you that opportunity, because you always have that opportunity, and you need the reminder that you always have that opportunity to be the light that maybe you haven't seen in a long time. You always have that opportunity. And that's what the universe here is reminding you about. You don't need to be disconnected from who you truly are when you are always connected. Being or thinking you're disconnected is an illusion, as you are always connected to the sides of yourself, the light and the dark, duality, baby. So I think the universe here is trying to give you that reminder that, you know, your happiness here definitely needs to be a priority, but your light is real, and you got to tap back into that light. For those of you that may have been shut down for so long due to the pain you've experienced. You know, pain can be a bitch. Pain can make you feel like you're unworthy. Pain can make you insecure. Pain can make you stone motherfucking cold, baby. But it's not who you are, because by nature we are all high vibrational beings. We are all beings of light. And I think it's time to jump back into that light, you know? In regards to where energies are going to align for Virgo moving forward, we got here Two of Pentacles, Two of Swords, and the Hierophant. You know, there's really two outcomes of this situation. For the Virgos that choose to stay in the dark, they will experience the dark. Now for the Virgos who choose to experience the light, they will experience the light. The point is that you will learn a lesson here. And the lesson that you will learn here, Virgo, is you have a choice to be who you want to be. You have a choice to resonate with the light or the dark. You have a choice to be positive or negative. And I think that needed a bit of a friendly reminder. As for those of you Virgos who feel like your shadow self is entirely who you are, that is not true. There is a whole different aspect, a whole different side of you, of who you truly are. And that is your higher self, your light side, your positive side, whatever. There is a side of you that is completely high vibrational that you can tap into right now. Every emotion lives within us, and it depends on how we access it. As for the overall outcome that's present for Virgo throughout April 15th to the 30th, let's take a look. Boom, Four of Wands. This is about unity, Virgo, and this is about getting back in touch with yourself and getting back in union with yourself. And with this Four of Wands being present, I see that if Virgos can get yourself together, if you can understand that your shadow side is a necessity, but here's the thing, I gotta explain this. Your shadow self is a necessity. It's a necessity because you have to take a look at what your weaknesses are. You have to take a look at what the negatives about yourself are so that you can heal them and fix them. But they're a necessity for growth, not necessarily a necessity for you to live in that and make that you, if that's making sense. So yeah, the shadow self is necessary. It is necessary to go in the dark to see the light, but it is not necessary to live in the dark when the light is so much better. And with the Four of Wands here as this outcome, I feel like a lot of Virgos here are going to get their shadow self and their higher self in harmony. I think you're going to see that it is okay to feel low vibrational emotions. It is okay to be in your shadow side, but it is not in your best interest to live there. You know, you need the dark to see a little bit of the light, absolutely, to gain insight and perspective. You know, you need the dark to see what's going on with you, for sure. But at the end of the day, there is always a better side of yourself that is there to offer you with love and care. So either way, as for the outcome that's present, Four of Wands, I see Virgos going into harmony here. I see you getting into harmony with yourself, appreciating both sides of you, appreciating both aspects of you, and recognizing that forward movement is possible. You can move yourself out of your shadow self and resonate with your higher self today. You can do it. And I think that there's a positive shift that will be occurring in your energy quite soon as you start to realize that you feel better taking care of yourself and being the best you can be versus feeling like unhappy with who you are, discontent, or unpleased. I would think that most people would feel happier being their best selves rather than being discontent in who they are. So I feel a transformation picking up here. And I think this message was more a message of a reminder to you that each and every single day we have the choice to choose with what we resonate with. Each and every single day we have the choice to be better or to be worse. And you got to be the person who's going to make that choice. And like I said, light and darkness are complementary. You know, they are both assets to one another. They are both make sense. There is a reason why we have the shadow self and a reason why we have the higher self. They both are necessary. But you don't need to live in the shadows. You can live in the light. Okay? So nonetheless, Virgo, a little bit of a confusing reading for sure. I'm sorry if I confused anybody. I know that there was a lot of information in here, and I may have confused some people. So if I did, I do apologize. And of course, if it resonates, let me know. If it doesn't, better luck next time. But I hope that if this does resonate to any individual, I hope that it really helped, because I think this was definitely an important reading, and I think that it would help a lot of people that may be going through a little bit of their shadow selves right now, dealing with that, and, you know, for the people who feel trapped there, just know that there is a way out of there, you know, and that's you accessing your light, because it lives within you, okay? Thank you, Virgo, so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a lovely, awesome, and amazing rest of your April, and I will catch you guys for your May 2020 readings. Much love, guys. Peace.